The Speedstack 2017 edition includes two key enhancements which have been requested by our customers. The first is an enhancement to the editing and display of Flex rigid stackups, and the second is improvement of the import and export of library materials. We've also added a number of other features which improve the accuracy and ease of use of Speedstack. First, stepping back to the 2016 edition, you can see here a Flex rigid PCB, and in the central section, the cover lay and the no-flow prepreg are separated for clarity. However, some of our customers would prefer this to show as actually lined up, and you can see the same is true here with the bond ply and the no-flow prepreg. And so now, as an option in the 2017 edition, on the next slide, you'll see the ability to line these up. This is the 2017 edition, and clearly here you can see the cover lay and no-flow prepregs are aligned, as are the bond ply and no-flow prepregs on the inner layers. This is optional, and you can set this during the editing of the stackup. That information is carried through into the technical report, allowing you to show in the technical report a very accurate description of the stackup as it will appear in production. Some of the minor enhancements in Flex are improved calculation of the finished height of the Flex rigid section, and here you can see the calculation in the controlled impedance section of the stackup. Another enhancement, which was very regularly requested, was the ability to link each individual impedance structure to a net class. You'll see in the interface a new icon, the structure net class icon has appeared, and this allows you to save a net class or net classes against each structure in the impedance stackup. Not only is the structure stored in the stackup with the net class associated, those are carried through here into the technical report, and they're also exported in the STKX and SSX formats when XML stackups are exported from Speedstack. This makes it much more straightforward for you to export the net class information to a CAD system and to make the link between the CAD system and Speedstack much tighter. Whilst talking of import and export, you can see that now we can export to Cadence Allegro, to a generic CSV file, also to IPC 2581 revision B, to Mentor Expedition, to Zuken CR8000 and Zuken DFM Center, and also with this new SSX format, which is probably the richest form of output from Speedstack, we can export to UCAMCO Integrator and UCAM. It's also worth noting up here on the right that we support output of legacy file formats, so we can export in version 11 and version 12. This means if you haven't quite updated your CAD system yet, we can export the Speedstack output to a legacy version of your CAD system while you're waiting for your main system to be upgraded. So in summary, regarding the exports, we can now support the new material attributes, support for material colors, and simplified versioning information. These are all capable of being exported in the STKX and SSX outputs from Speedstack. More detailed information has been added to the technical report. You can now select columns to display the trace pitch, the coating above the substrate, the coating above the trace, between the traces, and the dielectric constant of the coating itself. In addition, the process thickness now includes the solder mask. This has been a common request to add solder mask to process thickness as an option on the printout report. As an experiment, we've added a proportional view into the stackup output, so you can now print the stackup as a proportional view. This is quite useful when you're displaying the stackup maybe to non-technical people who are interested in the stack, or if you're checking for errors, if you've maybe made a typing error while entering the stack data, it's very easy to see visually You can see the isolation distance here between the two center layers. It's very clear because the display is now proportional to the actual thickness in the engineering drawing of the stack up that you've created before. As always, your input's valuable to us, and if you've got any features you'd like us to add to the proportional view, we'll be delighted to hear from you. In previous versions of Speedstack, the printing used to show the isolation distances of each prepreg individually. This is perhaps not quite so useful as the complete sum of isolation distance, and now you can show the isolation distance either individually or summed for each layer between copper layers. This makes it much clearer to see the isolation distance between each individual layer at a glance. The key feature is enhanced library management using Excel. It's now possible to export the library into Excel. In this case, we've exported into an imaginary supplier called Rich. The data is exported in comma, tab, or other delimited format. In this case, we've exported a library in mils, edited the copper foils, and you can now import the material that you've edited in Excel on a tab-by-tab basis. Previous versions of Speedstack required you to import the whole library. Here you can import just a foil, just a prepreg, just a core back into the main library, making library management far easier as you can work on individual material subsections in the library. Well, thank you for listening to this update on Speedstack 2017, and I look forward to giving you further updates in the future.